a person who in school would always think about people who are depressed as incredibly, incredibly broken. And I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that it's not as obvious as some people would often say it is. There's hidden depression. There's depression that occurs in people who seem perfectly fine, perfectly normal. And as the years went on, it took a doctor to tell me that what I was experiencing was depression. And some of the things that I wish people would have told me range from very obvious to not as obvious, all the way to very subjective. And that's something that I wanted to talk about in this video, because as someone who has tried oftentimes to kill himself, as someone who has suffered with self-harm and addiction, I'll just say that sometimes you just don't want to be alone. And that may sound a bit weird. I mean, people who are often depressed isolate themselves and stuff like that. But it's not necessarily being alone physically. It's a lot of it is being alone mentally. You can be surrounded by so many people in your life and still feel lonely. That's what I felt a very large portion of middle school and high school. I felt as if I was surrounded with people who I could talk to, people who I could have fun with. But regardless of the current situation, I would just feel so lonely. I'd feel a disconnect. Because I put on a face saying that I was fine. I put on a face saying that I was perfectly normal. And that is where the hidden depression comes. Something that I wanted to be told so badly was that I'm valued. And growing up in Hawaii, growing up in a very Asian family with very differing amounts of parenting styles, I've experienced a sort of disconnect from the people around me. Something that people who are suicidal want to be told is that they're not a burden. I was told the exact opposite. I was called a burden, a leech, a waste of space and money, and so many other things. And that's just how it is in my family. We're very high on negative reinforcement. Until about a month ago, I'd say, because doctors told them that they need to fix their shit. But regardless, people who are depressed want to be told that they have value. Because sometimes when you're living out your life, you feel like you have no value. And it's not just value as in, oh, people want you around, you're popular, you're one of the cool kids. You just want it to be shown that at the end of the day, you matter. And that's something that a lot of people suffering with suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation, depression, hidden depression, even versions of depression that are a lot less common, like psychotic depression. Regardless, people want to be told that they're not a burden. They want to feel as if they matter. They want to feel as if, at the end of the day, somebody loves them. And that's something that I didn't experience a lot, and that's something that contributed to my psychosis later down the line. A couple years down the line. I'd say maybe it all accumulated when I was 5th-ish grade. But that's when it really blew up. 5th, 6th grade-ish is when my psychosis got really bad after my grandfather died. But I did experience small tidbits of psychosis every now and then while I was living out my normal life before my grandfather died. But something that a lot of people who are depressed want is to feel empowered, to feel as if they matter. And I realize that that's kind of obvious, but let's take it like in this example. So you're talking with one of your friends. You're just talking, you're having a conversation, you're chilling. And as a sense of humor, they bring you down. Little did you know, but that person was suffering with depression. And they were suffering with self-harm and addiction. This is a real situation, by the way. This happened to me. And the person comes out and they say, oh, I've been feeling really, really sad as of recently. And my doctor told me that it's depression. Now imagine the reaction one would have when they're laughed at for that. And I sort of felt like from then on, when somebody tells me about their depression, my reaction should be to laugh. I realized how much that brought me down, but I saw that as normal, as what should happen when that couldn't be anything anything farther than the truth. They want to depressed people. They want to feel that they're loved, and something about guys especially. They want to be. They don't want to be lonely, but they don't want to be. They don't want to be lonely, and they don't want to be alone. Kind of a weird way to put it. I got that from Raccoon Eggs, by the way. He's a cool dude. Check him out. Twitch. I think he has a Twitch, YouTube, whatever. Check him out. Really funny guy. Check up on your depressed friends. Check up on your happy friends, even. Because not a lot of the time when people who are suffering with mental illness, you won't even be able to tell that they are. So do your best to try and check up on people who seem completely normal. Because sometimes it just takes that amount of kindness. Sometimes it just takes a very small amount of kindness. That small amount of kindness for them to finally realize, hey, I matter. So check up on your depressed friends. Check up on your happy friends. Tell them that they're not a burden. Tell them that they are valued and loved. Because at the end of the day, we all die in the end. The journey is what makes it worth it. The beauty about life is that it ends. Don't let it end in a way that hurts other people. I would rather sit down and listen to your problems than attend your funeral. And I hope that all of you have the same mindset. So, thank you very much. If you're in a suicidal emergency, if somebody you know is suffering with an emergency, I have emergency links down below. I've been saying emergency a lot, but I have links down below for you to use whenever. And catch you in the next one. Remember, tell people that they're loved, that they're valued. Because at the end of the day, that is what's gonna save them from their own demons. So, thank you for watching. Ahui ho, malama pono.